Hello baseball fans, and welcome to the latest On the Road with Marlin Family Live. And today we have something special. It's not two of us. I don't know if you can see, there she is. There's three of us. As always, Andy Salgado, El Tipo, Jose Guy, and whatever name you guys want to call me, Mr. Anderson, and the lovely lady that everyone hears about on all our podcasts and all the videos, and the better looking half of me, my lovely wife, Khaki, like the pants or shorts or whatever. The sports fan that loves baseball just as much as I do. That's weird. So adventure today, single A All-Star game, home run derby. Sounds like fun. Lakeland, hour away.
Hopefully not raining.
Hopefully not raining, because since we've come back from France, it's rained every flipping day after going, what was it, 2 months without a drop of rain?
It's been, what, 3 to midnight every night.
Oh my gosh, we're still like, what, 10 inches short of our average projection? But enough about climate issues here in Central Florida, because I bet there's a bunch of people outside of Florida that wish they would have this lovely, beautiful blue sky weather nowadays. So, all right, let's start with the most important question, because, you know, we're going to go see Lakeland. We're going to go to All-Star game. We have the Hammerheads, Jupiter, Marlins, woo, the Tampa Yankees, woo, Tampa Yankees, woo, Yankee fans. How can you guys be fans, and I can vouch for this one for a little bit too, of teams not from your hometown? Because you grew up in Winter Haven.
I grew up in Winter Haven.
No baseball there, except for spring training.
No baseball in Florida.
In Florida, yes.
Yeah.
But it's spring training. Exactly. You guys had the Red Sox and the Indians there.
I had the Red Sox when I was a child.
Okay.
Couldn't stand the Red Sox.
Okay.
We went to, like, the Lakeland Tigers was like more like when we would skip school and stuff like that. That's why, like I said, I can pretty much deal with any team just through spring training, because we just would go wherever we had tickets to that day.
Okay.
But that's how the Yankees thing started. My dad raised me on baseball, like not necessarily a team, because there wasn't anything. When I was a kid, there was no Marlins. There was no, the closest team was Atlanta, so it might as well be wherever. So, you know, you would just, wherever we went for that, so I mean, you could pretty much cheer for anybody. And like the Tigers would usually be like kind of a fun little special thing, like, you know, just playing around and stuff. But back then, Yankees were in Lauderdale, and so when we went, we got to go see them. You know, it was like the trip. It was to see, you know, and when you're raised on the history of the game as a little kid, everybody wears the same hat. Like, so it just kind of was, that's, you know, like as a kid, I thought everybody, you know, you like baseball, you like the Yankees. And then they moved to Tampa when I was in high school, so it was a lot easier to get to games and stuff. And then once the Red Sox left Winter Haven, could deal with the Indians too, because they were there. It was like right after Major League, so they got to be like the fun team. But that's how, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, that's why I don't really have like the hatred rivalry, because it just, down here you just saw whatever you went to in Atlanta.
I mean, down in Miami we had the Orioles, we had the Yankees, we had the Miami Marlins of the 50s, but that was way before my time, and we had the CBS affiliates that only played Cubs and Cardinals games, so I get that. But you, on the other hand, Miss Khaki, you're weird, because you were born in Chicago to a grandfather that remembers the last time the White Sox went to the World Series. No, the White Sox.
Oh, yeah.
The White Sox, the Black Sox incident. Remembers that. You lived in Orlando, where you guys had the Orlando Cubs minor league team, the Twins minor league team, the Ray minor league team. You're not that far from the Rays, but yet you're a Yankee fan.
Now, for people... I like that response. I'm smart.
And you went to South Bend, Indiana. You went to Notre Dame.
Well, Notre Dame doesn't have a professional team.
Yes, but you're a stone throw away from Chicago.
I was going to wait for you to be like, the Notre Dame what?
Yeah, they're a stone throw away from Chicago. I've done that bus ride. It's a 40-minute bus ride from South Bend to Wrigley Field. I know that for a fact because I've done that bus ride from Notre Dame to Wrigley Field. Or you go down to Cincinnati and you see the Reds. So,
okay, so by the time that I went to college, I was a diehard baseball fan. And before people start yelling at me that I'm a fair weather fan and I like them only because they're good at what I'm on, no. The reason why I love the Yankees is because of my father. My father's a huge Yankee fan, and even though he never lived in or in New York, he actually became a fan and started loving the Yankees before they were like this big, super amazing. I mean, they were still a big, super amazing team, but they kind of had a lull at that point. So it wasn't that he was just jumping on the bandwagon. What my father says is that it was his first act of rebellion. He was about 4 or 5, and he became a huge Yankee fan because my grandfather was a huge White Sox fan. They had a big rivalry at that time. So, as a way of rebelling against his dad, he became a huge Yankee fan. Now, the funny thing is, I inherited his love of Yankees, whereas my brother inherited his rebellion of his father because he is a huge Red Sox fan. For some reason that I don't understand. But, so I am a huge Yankee fan because of my father, and my father is a huge Yankee fan because my grandfather, who did live close to Chicago, was a huge Marlin fan.
White Sox
fan, sorry. He was a huge White Sox fan.
see, I call shenanigans on your father, and, you know, I don't want to be disowned by him, too. He was a fan during a lull of the Yankees, pitched a no-hitter in the World Series. How's that a lull?
Oh. He was 5.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a lull. That's...
Well, when he was 8, when he was 5, they weren't, like, super amazing at that point. They weren't terrible, but they weren't, it wasn't...
I mean, you can't be terrible when there's only 8 teams in the league.
Well, that was, I mean, like, when I was high school, it was, like, really weird, because that's, like I said, that's when the Indians came in spring train. So, like, I liked the Yankees and the Indians, and both were absolutely just god-awful.
Well, yes,
like,
and there's the period of the Yankees. Not going to give away your age, but there was a nice...
Exactly.
What was their championship? 78? No. Yeah, 70. No, it was
like
yeah,
you said,
78, and they didn't win one until 96. So as a kid, if you were a Yankee fan from 78 to 96, you're not a fair weather fan. I mean, all they had was Don Mattingly from 83 to 95.
That'll answer the question coming up in a little bit.
So it's one of those that, yes, you're not. If you're a Yankee fan and you can list a player on the 80s Yankees, you're going to go Don Mattingly because everyone can list Don Mattingly from the 80 Yankees. Because Don Mattingly was Donnie Baseball. For not winning a flipping game or a playoff or anything like that, he sure was the face of baseball for most of the 80s. I mean, you of course have the old school, you know, Bash Brothers where they smack arms together, but that was just because chicks dig the long ball. But as a fan of baseball, you always remember Donnie Baseball. Now with me, I have the unique situation that
there's a 7-minute slowdown in 3 miles.
Besides the 7-minute slowdown,
That was right on cue.
that was right on cue. It gave me time to pause. I grew up in a city that had minor league, that had spring training baseball, but there was no majors. I mean, it's a major metropolitan. You have the Dolphins, you had the Heat, the Panthers came the same year as the Marlins, so you were mainly a basketball or a football fan. So for someone like me who's of Cuban heritage, which baseball is life for the Cuban people, some of them, and a grandfather who played in the minors and spring training for the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Cardinals and Cubs have had a rivalry since the dawn of St. Louis has been conceived, CBS and WGN always played Cubs-Cardinals games. So I used to sit and watch with my grandfather, just like you, who love of the team was because of a relative. Mine was because of my grandfather. And same thing with my mother. My mother loves the Cardinals. And if you ask my mom nowadays if it's the Cardinals or the Marlins, she's going to go for the Cardinals. But I had the advantage of later on, I get my team in Miami. Now that's not saying that we live here in Orlando. I mean, we have the Fire Frogs down the street, but we're not Atlanta Braves fans. And if the Tampa Bay Rays ever move out of St. Pete and closer to Orlando, we're not going to jump on the Tampa Bay bandwagon.
I'll go to the games. I'm not
Go to the games, but I'll probably still wear Marlin shirts and
whoever else.
Super and
Keep left to stay on I-4 West.
things like that. But growing up as a kid, I finally got my team. So I jumped ship from the Cardinals to the Marlins. But it also because I always would listen to my grandfather's stories while watching the Cardinal game.